Well, that was fun. I kind of unintentionally dominated the second part of the anger management group, and I was really not trying to do that. I really wasn't. Oh, look, my left daytime running light is out. I still need to find the time to go talk to Rob, Mechanic Rob, about trying to sell my junk cars and how much I owe him these days, and doing something with the silver CRX. Maybe he can find me a better deal for the stupid sun visor. So 1:36 p.m. Yikes, I need to move on here. And yay, the left turn lane here is open again. Last time I left Ren, there was construction, so I couldn't turn left here. Because going left here at Osborne, I think, is the quickest way to get to the rental car center from here. I don't know, it's debatable as to whether it's quicker to go straight south on 3rd Street to the HOV entrance, which is something anybody can use this time of day, and just taking I-10 to the exit for the rental car center, or whether it's quicker to make a left here at Osborne, go to 20th Street, and then use 20th Street to get on the 51 to the 10 to the rental car center. That's the route I'm taking. Did I say the time? It's 1:36 p.m. Still Tuesday, December 5th, 2023. I did not see Destiny today. Kind of disappointed by that, but I did see a lot of other very, very lovely women, and also some women that weren't nearly as attractive, but still seemed to be really cool people whose companionship I enjoyed. And I wish I was better at names, because at the moment I can't remember any of their names. Although I do recall one of them, very dark skin, and she's training to become an anger management counselor herself, and I think that's her purpose for being in the meeting. So she's getting a certain amount of training from David, who leads the group and handles that department for Ren, from Dave, and participating in the group. First, like 15 minutes of that group, actually it felt like it was longer than 15 minutes. It was just this like meditation video, and you know, one of those sit in the lotus position and calm and clear your mind and breathe deeply, blah blah blah. Yeah, nothing clears my mind. There is so much shit running in my mind at all times. I let one voice out when I shoot this vlog. There's so much else going on in my mind at all times. It's hard to really explain. And sometimes it's really chaotic. But yeah, anytime somebody always tries the meditation thing, for me, like when I'm in a group and that's like the activity, my big challenge is just to try not to distract anybody else that can get to that place from getting to that place. And just to be quiet and not fidget with stuff, and not, obviously not play with my phone, because I mean, they turned off the lights and made it dark except for the screen that had the meditation video on it. I should have made a note what the video was, because I could have linked it to here. It's on YouTube. But yeah, I found myself thinking about where the background image was, because it's really peaceful. It was like some kind of, I don't know, really dense swamp, I guess, kind of environment. Whatever kind of natural environment it was, it's like no place I've ever been. So maybe a jungle, maybe a swamp, I'm not sure. It's definitely not the desert. Definitely not the high plains. So definitely not the mountains. Just none of the, yeah, I've been in quite a few different climates and environments, and this was none of the above for places I've been. So I was kind of pondering that, and how beautiful it was, but how just kind of wondering what exactly and where exactly it was. And then realizing that the woman who was sitting in the lotus position with her palms up was really gorgeous, and was kind of to be completely honest, I was kind of imagining her naked. That's where my mind goes more often than not. And then being very keenly aware by the type of video production that no matter how much they were trying to make it look like she was on a boat on that water. She was on a boat that was probably on a platform that was either moving gently or the gentle moving was added post-production, and she was definitely in front of a green screen. And then I was thinking of obnoxious ways to abuse being on a green screen, like how funny it would be to be a weatherman who's giving the forecast in front of a green screen that is used to display like modern digital weather maps and stuff like that, and how amusing it would be to wear just that shade of green, a tie of just that shade of green, just to see if it fucks with the chroma key green screen. And if I did that as a weathercaster, would you see the map cutting right through me where my tie is? I think you would, if it was the right shade of green. Because if I was in that job, I would probably be occasionally doing random shit like that. At least up until the point where somebody above me told me to cut that shit out. Oh, see, my mind wanders all kinds of places, and it's not just, wow, wouldn't it be great if the woman on the boat was naked and my face was in her lap? We're wondering the same thing about the woman who's in there trying to get her certification for, whoa, what the hell? Urbandale Park is completely fenced off with construction fences and signs that say no trespassing. I hope the city of Phoenix didn't sell that park to a private developer. Oh, we got a homeless encampment under the bridge here on the left. This vlog kind of started. Not that those videos have hardly any views. Not any of my videos really have any views, other than some of my little short traffic clips where everybody's hating on me. Wow, and they've added this really hideously, can y'all see that on the left? It's on the other side of the freeway as well, on the or other side of Thomas, both north and south side of Thomas. They've added this hideously ugly chain link fence to stop homeless people from being under the bridge where there used to be some rather attractive landscaping. I don't like what's becoming of Phoenix. And when I look at the internet and videos on YouTube, I see that in other cities it's substantially worse. I'm looking at that, and I'm looking at the way the signs are on it, and I could have sworn there were private property, no trespassing. And I know the city of Phoenix sold that small bit of public green space that's south of McDowell at 40th Street. I know that got sold to some kind of private developer, and thought that they would do that with Urbandale Park. Just that hits me right in the feels. I'll still forever be angry with former Mayor Greg Stanton with how he did that with Patriot Square, a former point of pride for the city of Phoenix. That all just got sold to private developers, and there's a little bit of green space in there, but it's nothing like the green space that was there before in the public amphitheater that was there before. And they also sold a chunk of the park over at, I forget the name of the park, but it's the park that's between Indian School Road and Osborne on the west side of 56th Street. They took a chunk of the corner there and sold it to a private developer. That one doesn't bother me as much. I was just bothered by the fact that they did it when they did it, but in an odd turn of events, that one actually, I think, made the park better, because that little part of the park, there was really nothing there, and now there's a little tiny, I want to say strip mall. That's not really big enough to call it a strip mall. There's 2 or 3 businesses in there. There's a Starbucks there. I mean, there could be anything there. It's obviously real property. But since the building got built after that little piece of property got sold to private developers from the city of Phoenix, when it was previously a park, there's Starbucks there, and there's a smoothie place. I think it's called Smoothie King there. And I've only ever gone into the Starbucks, and that was actually during the short period of time when I was with Crystal about 1.5 years ago. The relationship I had that lasted all of about 5 days, but was just so intensely sexual, and then just ended in absolute ridiculousness. Well, I've got an electric plug-in hybrid Willys following me. At least I'm assuming it's a plug-in hybrid because it's got the blue hooks in the front. Right here's where that accident was yesterday. Yeah, this whole area where I'm driving through right now is blocked, and then to try to turn into the left of the tracks access road, that was 100% obstructed. It looks like it's probably one of those plug-in hybrid Jeeps, but I can't tell if it's got a juice hole because the juice hole would be on the driver's side. Yeah, I went to that Starbucks with Crystal. That was a really good time I spent with her. I don't understand how that went so wrong so fast. The only example I could think of where the city sold park to a private developer to build something where it didn't destroy the park. And I guess you could say Patriot Square is arguably better, but I would have loved to have just seen better development directly adjacent to the old Patriot Square Park as opposed to where Patriot Square Park was. And Patriot Square Park continued to be what it was. Anyway, Urbandale Park, it looks like it's been sold to private developers, and it's really sad. And I don't know why. I can only theorize and wonder and just be sad that one of my places that I would go to be safe, I hate to use the word safe space, but one of my safe spaces is now no longer. That's what Patriot Square was. When I was going through my divorce, and that was one of the darkest times of my life, mentally and physically, just all around. It was a really bad time for me. And one of the things that kept me together was in the wee hours of the morning when I had nowhere else to be and I couldn't sleep. And I was just going through the pain of my lover not being my lover anymore, and my wife in the process of not being my wife anymore. Same person, I think I should clarify that, considering my sexual history. But, yeah, where I found inner peace and strength was going onto that stage on the amphitheater early in the morning, 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, 3 in the morning, and just standing on that stage and imagining that there were a bunch of people in that park and just singing a cappella and enjoying the acoustics of that spot. And sometimes there would be some random people that went by. Sometimes that random people was police or security that probably should have been running me off and didn't, because I wasn't doing any harm. Most of the time they actually seemed to be enjoying my singing. Could have been in my head. Hell, in fact, considering my mental health diagnoses, the fact I was seeing people could have been in my head. But I was definitely there, and I was definitely singing. 1:46 on the Saturn clock. That means it is 1:51 in the real world. And wow, I'm early by Dan standards. That's a nice, quick, easy drive from there. I do need to talk to Rob about maybe shortening this shift, but I feel at this point I've been asking too much and being, I don't know, I feel like I've been too much of a pain in everybody's ass here at MLS. So yeah, today's not the day. Today worked well, and I think next week I'll just cut out of the group at the same time. But my plans are to see David again on Thursday. There's a Model Y in the parking lot, and I think I'm going to have to go park next to it because the spaces I normally park in are full. There's way more cars here than there normally is. We're parked by Hyundai. Actually, I think I'm just gonna park myself right here. I've never used this spot before. Oh, there goes the car washer that was asking me to reach into a Tesla and get a mouse out for him. He asked me something really random last night. He waved me over and asked me to lean in the car and asked if I could smell burning oil in it. But this was after he'd sprayed all kinds of air freshener and stuff in it. And yeah, all I could smell was that funky air freshener that they spray in there to try and make them smell cleaner. And I do kind of wish he'd asked me to do that before he treated it. And I hope I didn't give him bad advice. And I told him, like, look, this isn't my decision. Like, it's kind of your decision. Or, you know, escalate this to your manager. But yeah, if I was you, I would just put it out. The car seems to be running good. And then he mentioned, well, you know, wasn't this car in the shop? And I recognized it as a Subaru that I've driven more than a couple times in and out of the maintenance shop. So it's definitely been worked on very recently. But if there was a smell, whatever it was, he covered it up. And I don't have such a great sense of smell anyway. Anyway, that guy, I wish I knew his name. He's a really good guy. I like him. And I think he's the only car washer whose primary language is English and speaks with a local accent, which has got to be odd for him, being in that work environment. Anyway, I ate myself at work. Thanks for coming with on the drive.